The Falling Man by Camila Andrea Solórzano Garcia. Richard Yu was born on December 6, 1946. Richard is an Associated Press photojournalist, perhaps most notable for his photo The Falling Man, which depicts a man falling from the World Trade Center towards following the September 11, 2001 attacks. A British documentary, The Falling Man, about the photo premiered on the Discovery Times channel on September 10, 2007. Drew was one of four press photographers present at the assassination of Robert F. Kennedy. Drew has been an Associated Press photographer for 14 years and lives with his wife and two daughters in New York City. My favorite photo is The Falling Man because I think that this photo is very strong. Since in the moment that happened, I was in the school with the companions and many of them had relatives in USA. The directive of the school decided to cancel classes and send us to the house due to the attack. When I got home, I saw my grandma cry because she couldn't believe that that had happened. I sat with her to watch the news when my best friend called me to tell me that her father was missing. I decided to go to her house to support her and stay with her. At 9 p.m., my mom came and we went to the house. I called my best friend and she told me that her dad had appeared and he was well. From that moment, I started to read all the news that spoke about the attack, and among all this, I found this image and I thought at Fortune that was not the relative of someone close. It's my favorite photo because day to day remember that we must die to be well. Who took the photo? The Falling Man is a title of a photograph taken by Richard Drew during the September 11, 2001 attacks on the World Trade Center Twin Towers at 9 hours 41 minutes at 15 seconds. In the image, you can see a man falling from one of the towers, who suddenly shoots the jump into the void instead of dying from the heat and the smoke. The publication of the document shortly after the attacks angered certain sectors of American public opinion. The majority of the media themselves censored, preferring to show only photographs of acts of heroism and sacrifice. A documentary tried to ascertain the identity of that man. Context. When the photo was taken, Bush fought with the American political class to increase the military budget and to push forward his project to create an anti-missile shield, while he was worried about how to fake the economic recession of the American economy. When the morning of September 11, 2001, according to the United States government, 19 men affiliated with the terrorist organization Al Qaeda entered for flights and were directed by the Twin Towers, the Pentagon, and the Anaquarter that fell in a Pennsylvania field. It is alleged that these men act on instructions for Osama bin Laden, a Muslim billionaire who, convinced that the United States is the main enemy of his religion and culture, decides to attack them on his own territory. Ideas. The ideas or themes are dealt with in the photo are death, terrorism, suicide, religious problems, power problems, the truth behind the attack, respect for people in their decisions, despair, philosophy of life, the concept of living, loneliness, the family, the strength to take this type of photo, and the concept to each one has of the photo. Intention. I think that the photographer of the picture is trying to say to the viewers is that the desperation of not having an exit makes decisions that often end badly. That is to say, when seeing a photo of a person throwing himself in the emptiness of a skyscraper, the first thing that is thought is that the person decides to throw himself, sees no longer any another exit, and maybe instead of waiting to die burnt or under the rubble, he prefers to end his life at no surfer, more and a place that would now slow down in collapse. I also think that the photographer wants to show that at such a difficult time, people who are not in this situation can have morbidity to record the moments to then show or see what they could not see at the moment. Reactions. My reaction to the photo is of respect on the one hand, because it is to respect the man who threw himself, and then I remind of approve of his death, so do not know who is. On the other hand, morbid to know that happened on that day, so tragic because personally give me very curious that there is behind all that science. I am of the people who think that it was the one that planned the attack to hide and to eliminate information. But the reaction that more generates the image is of amazement to know that a person was able to take it photo to someone who had to die in such a tragic way.